Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy Kyle Summers, your bro therapist and your bro consultant. And today, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I want to tell you a little bit about me as a therapist in a private practice and how I got to be where I'm at. For any of y'all that are watching that are thinking about going into private practice. So, take you back long, long time ago, about 12 years ago, and I started my career here in Texas with what's called the local mental health authority. So all states have got their own variation of that, but it's basically your state operated agencies. And I had a lot of roles within there. I'm not going to list them all for you, but I started off as a field worker, moved up to in-house counselor, got burnt out, went into management, went into administration, got into quality management, kept on bouncing around because I reached a point about every 2 years where I just couldn't take it anymore. I literally could not physically take it anymore because the demands of the job, the expectations were just killing me. The paperwork alone was enough to just make you just grab something and break it, right? And not only that, but just the population that those kind of agencies serve, it's a difficult population. I was transporting people to and from appointments that were basically speaking another language. I rolled up on many of suspect houses when I would provide services in their homes to where there were needles in the front yard. There were a couple of times where there was a crisis situation. They didn't want to go to the hospital, and so I had to kind of think very quickly on how to get the police involved without, making the situation worse because I needed to get them to somewhere to be safe. And during that time, I spent about 7 years in this particular agency, which was honestly the best thing for me because it gave me access and experience to a wide array of people. So if you're in your agency job right now and you're just like, oh, this sucks so bad, if nothing else, be thankful for the experience that you're getting because it's going to help you if you want to go into private practice. I switched gears after about 7 years with this particular agency after pretty much exhausting every role possible. And I went and worked in corrections where I was in-house therapist at the third largest jail in the country. And because I got to a certain point in my career where I knew that I wanted to provide services. I kind of convinced myself several different times where I was in management that this is what I wanted to do, but each time I wasn't fulfilled. So I knew I wanted to be a therapist. I knew I wanted to be a counselor full time. And so I went to this jail and I loved it. Again, I had a really good experience working with these individuals. I would be sitting in the jail unit with 20 other men talking about their feelings, talking about sensitive subjects, calling their ass out when they needed to be called out with no guard in sight. And I loved it. Never a dull moment in jail. If you get the opportunity to work in a jail, do it. Same thing though. 2 years into it, wasn't the people I was working with, wasn't the jail. It was the fact that it was under the umbrella of a state-funded operation. And so the requirements, the trying to uphold everything that Medicaid wanted, it was just unrealistic. And for me, I couldn't ever reconcile that. I could never reconcile all the red tape. No matter how hard I tried, my brain automatically would see that this is a monumental waste of money, time, resources, and I was never going to truly be happy working in an agency, no matter how much I made. And that was the thing is like with the jail, they compensated very well and the benefits were extraordinarily great, but that wasn't enough because I wasn't happy. So around the time that I was at the jail, I started my private practice on Saturdays, Summers Counseling. Look me up on Facebook. Find me at the Bro Therapy. Oh, maybe you're already there. I don't know. Anyways, what was I saying? But yeah, so I started my private practice and I was doing it on Saturdays only. And I did that for about a year and a half until I got to the point of no return. And that was when I said, I'm getting kind of tired of public agencies. What if I went to a private? Maybe they're better. Maybe that's where I should go. And going into this private hospital was both my worst mistake ever in my life, at least professionally, and the best decision I ever made. So I got to this unnamed psychiatric hospital nearby me, and it was bad, y'all. It was really bad. I was hired on as a supervisor that was also going to provide services, and I thought, hey, great, I'll get to be a therapist, and I'll also get to be a mentor to counseling interns. And this job was so bad. 2 weeks into it, I don't think I made it 2 weeks. Maybe a week and a half into it, I literally left on my lunch break. The level of things being unethical, completely unethical. And I don't want to generalize to all private hospitals. I have a fear that a lot of them probably operate like the one that I was employed for. They're just going to soak up those insurance dollars. Doesn't matter what you're coming in with, they're going to keep you there, and they're going to keep you there until those bed days run out. And again, maybe that was just my experience at this particular hospital, because this particular hospital found itself in the news quite a bit. And so maybe that isn't the case for all of them, but it was bad. It's so disorganized from the top down. It was just bad. And so before I left on my lunch break and said, I'm quitting, I called my wife, and I was just broke down to her, and I was just like, I cannot take this anymore. And I told her that over the past pretty much 12 hours, I kind of formulated a plan on how I could take my private practice from 1 day a week to full time. And this is what I was going to do. And I swore to her I would make it work, because I was going to make it work no matter what. And she said, cool, I support you. Do what you need to do. And I quit. And that following day, pretty much that afternoon, I went full time in my private practice. And that is literally the worst way you would want to go into private practice, is where you became desperate. Nothing was planned. I never thought that I could go into private practice, because I kept on reading articles where it was saying you need to save up 6 to 8 months worth of income. Like, what? Like, I had about 3 weeks. I had about 3 weeks of saved up money, and bills were due, and I had to make it work. And I did. And I want to teach you how I did that. Teach you to avoid the mistakes that I made along the way that would have made my life a lot easier. Teach you what I did well that made me successful. And teach you things that I'm doing now that's continuing to make me successful. That's what I want to teach you. I want to help someone that is in a position where they want to go into private practice. I want to help them make that jump. And I want to help someone who's currently in private practice expand upon it the way in which they want to, and grow it to their liking. So yeah, that's essentially my story in a nutshell, how I got to where I'm at. And yeah, just keep liking the videos, keep watching. I'm gonna share a lot of free stuff for you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great day. And again, my name's Kyle Summers, your bro consultant. I will see you later. Bye.